right, time to have a look through the papers at 8:44, and joining us once again this morning, Norman Baker, former Lib Dem minister and former advisor to Boris Johnson, no less.
Not me.
Drop. No, not you, just to clarify.
Jump in there, Norman, and clarify.
Do you know what? That would be a great story, Norman, if it were true.
I did give him some advice, didn't take it, though.
No.
Oh, well.
All right, Norman, let's kick off with you. The Horizon scandal, I shouldn't smile. No, but there's been all this talk. There's not been enough money paid out to the victims of this, not by a long shot. But the Post Office, according to the Times, has paid its lawyers as much as it's paid out in compensation.
It just gets worse and worse, doesn't it? I mean, there were 900 people wrongly prosecuted. 900 people prosecuted. Some have committed suicide as a consequence of all this. The compensation has not been paid out quickly or properly. And now we find out, as you say, Stephen, that we've got this situation where £257 million has been paid out to lawyers, which is the same amount of money as been paid out to postmasters in terms of compensation.
Disgrace.
I'll tell you what, I've never seen a poor lawyer yet, and there's none in this story, is there?
No. Oscar, what to make of it?
Yeah, it's horrific. I mean, I remember, and it was kind of sad in some ways that it took an ITV drama to kind of bring it out of the nation, but it elicited such strong feelings. And I'm surprised, actually, this story hasn't kind of kicked on a little bit and isn't, in some ways, a more prominent story. Like, I think people will find that absolutely abhorrent. But it is, unfortunately, it is kind of the reality of life. You know, lawyers, when they attach themselves to cases like this, pick up so much money.
But all this is going on. Why on earth are hands not being put in pockets at the Post Office, at Fujitsu, and actually shelling out serious money immediately?
And how many people have been sacked as a consequence of this?
Yeah.
None, as far as I know.
Well, no. And we were talking to a sub-postmaster the other day, weren't we? We interviewed him, and they're still using Horizon software in post offices around the country. I don't know how you trust it.
Get your receipt from the Post Office. It still says Horizon on it. It's terrible.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Puts a chill through your system.
That's horrific.
Oscar, Waitrose.
Yeah, they're planning to open up 100 little Waitrose convenience stores over the next 5 years. They had a couple of tough years, Waitrose, but this is them kind of how they would view kind of booming back into the market. And I'm quite a fan of the smaller supermarket, but the prices are higher, aren't they? But they absolutely prey on lazy people like me, who just can nip round the corner, can't cook, can't do a thing, and so can just go get their food very quickly around the corner and pay the price for it.
But do you think the way that we're shopping is changing? Do you think people are picking up what they need for that night's dinner rather than doing the big weekly food?
I mean, I don't want to expose anyone on the show today.
Please do.
But I would be intrigued to know how many people use delivery services for their food. Just quick fire, Uber Eats or Deliveroo or, you know, any other companies out there.
Never.
I do it a lot, if I'm honest.
Do you?
I do it a lot. And they go to places like this little Waitrose.
Sorry, so you get Uber to do your shopping for you?
So they will go to a little Waitrose, one of these new stores potentially, and then you can just pick up a few things from the comfort of your own home, and they'll bring it to you in minutes.
You see, I think that's a disgrace. I mean, the young people of today, Norman, don't know they're born.
Don't put me in that.
No, let's do it.
It's a disgrace.
I've always thought that if you order stuff online, then they'll give you all the stuff that's nearly out of date.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Convenience is king.
And what's better than getting your trolley and having a good ride up
love
and down
those
every aisle, and then you never know what you might see, and you can get the best bargains, compare and contrast.
This might surprise you, but I'm always in the supermarket. I'm always in the shops. And I love just walking up and down the aisle, taking it all in.
You can buy stuff you don't need, because you see it.
Which I'm also an expert at. But no, good one.
I think the interesting last line from this Waitrose story, which I thought was fascinating, was that 15% of their Italian cheese is sold in one branch in Finchley Road.
Oh, well,
for some reason.
Oh, they're getting a dedicated Parmesan
is that what that's happening?
section, yeah.
I mean, I don't shop in Waitrose, it's too posh for me.
Well, exactly.
It's too posh for me.
Norman, I love this story. This is a postcard that has arrived 121 years after it was sent.
Yes, it's rather delayed in the post.
Yeah, just...
and this is sent to a 16-year-old, actually in 1903, called Miss Lydia Davis, for someone called Ewart, who goes on to tell her in the postcard that he has about 10 shillings in pocket money, not counting the train fare, so he's doing all right. Unfortunately, Lydia's no longer around to receive the news. But the post office says that they're rather stuffily, they are obliged to deliver letters when they're in the post box, and even though she's no longer there, they have to deliver it to the address which is on the postcard.
Oh, that's very... How can they be stuffy about it? They've delivered it 121 years late.
Well, indeed. It's now a building society in Craddock Street, apparently, in Swansea, where it's been delivered, and they're trying to track down the descendants of Lydia Davis to give her the postcard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good.
That's nice.
Good.
Have we lost the art of letter writing? I feel like people just don't write postcards anymore or letters to each other.
I got
so lovely.
They are. I got a request. I was in Aberdeen on holiday last couple of weeks. I got a request from my friend in Cork to send me a postcard from Aberdeen, which I've duly got a postcard, but I don't know how much it costs to send to Ireland. I can't find the post office is open.
Well, that's it.
I can't remember the last time I wrote a letter or sent one, or no. No,
I don't think we will do it anymore.
No, well, not to the same extent.
We found the letters from my granddad to my granny the other day, and it was just gorgeous reading through them. And it's similar to that. It's talking about the train he was on and, you know, what they're doing at the weekend, what dance they're going to go to. But it's just so lovely to look back on and to have those memories in hard copy. We've lost it, haven't we?
We have.
I love the modern world, but sometimes it's not quite as lovely
you're the
to look
problem.
back on. I'm the problem. I know I'm the problem.
You're into the email and AI and all that.
Yeah. Oscar, 20-mile-an-hour zones. I'm so confused by this. So Labour's now sort of saying, oh, yeah, if you want a 20-mile-an-hour zone, you can have one. It's up to the council. In Wales, where they were introduced, they then seem to scrap them all again.
They were hated.
Everyone hates
And now they're looking to roll them back. The First Minister in Wales has kind of recognised, I think it was 70% in terms of public polling in Wales, said we want rid of these. And in terms of the funding of this, I've seen a bit of briefing in the newspapers that there might be something in the budget announced on it. I mean, that to me, unless and potentially I am, not living on planet Earth, is an absolute vote-losing policy by the Labour Party. They are so unpopular, and rightly so. They push congestion onto the main roads. It's just a nightmare. So it'll be really interesting to see how this progresses. There is always that caveat, though, of, you know, with local consent.
Yeah,
and I can't imagine they'll be getting much of that.
I think it depends where they are. I mean, if you're outside a school, for example, or as a quiet residential street, then a 20-mile-per-hour limit may make some sense. Where it makes no sense, in my judgment, is, for example, Park Lane in London, which is a 3-lane carriageway with a 20-mile-per-hour limit on it, and it slows down buses. I think bus routes, for example, should always be 30 miles per hour. But I think what the government should do is give high-level general guidance to say that, and then let council get on with it beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, a stretch outside a school, fine, no one's going to moan about that, are they? But it's when it's just slapped everywhere.
No, they're not going to be popular, are they? And where is the money coming from?
Well, this is it. And this is going to be
there's going to have to be more money outlined for this scheme, isn't there? And it's all going to come in the budget.
This is going to be a really fascinating budget, and I think there are going to be a lot of very, very, very disappointed people at the end of it.
But we're at the start of Labour's term here, and they know they've got 5 years. They almost can be ambitious.
They'll do all the difficult stuff in the first budget.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yes, they can.
Right, we've just got time to have a look at the Casbah Club.
Yeah, lovely, the Casbah Club. This has come with me to the Casbah in Liverpool, because this is where the Beatles started, or 3 of them anyway, not Ringo Starr. And it's Pete Best's mum, he was the original drummer, set up this club and they played there. And it's now turned into holiday lets, where people, no doubt, from all over the world will come and live in the Paul McCartney suite or the John Lennon suite, but not the Ringo Starr suite, because he is not there. And the argument is that he wasn't part of the Beatles at the start, which he wasn't. However, Pete Best was, and it's his mum's old house, so perhaps there's a factor at play there.
He can do what he likes. Frankly, I tell you what, this will be huge, though. This will pull in the money, because Abbey Road is not that far. Drive past it every day. There are queues and queues of people walk across that zebra.
20-mile-per-hour limit there. 20-mile-per-hour limit in Abbey Road.
It is 20-mile-an-hour limit. Yeah. But honestly, it's every single day.
Who's your favourite Beatle?
Paul McCartney.
I think Paul McCartney. I've met Paul McCartney. He's a really nice guy. I really like him. I like George Harrison's approach to life as well, though. But however, Pete Best, by the way, when he was dropped by the Beatles in '63, he was signed up by Decca, and he released an album called Best of the Beatles.
Oh.
Very smart.
Very smart. You couldn't even do him for infringement on that.
No.
Why? Who's your favourite Beatle?
I thought John Lennon was the coolest.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
But McCartney had the tunes.
Yeah, and he was at
There you go. We're out of time.